Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Now it's clocked up 247 venues over 35 countries with nearly 1,000 sailors signed up to participate and use sailing to improve the lives of children and young people globally. That's the biggest global sailing event known as Bart's Bash, which is organised in honour of the late British Olympic sailor Andrew Bart Simpson. This year's event is hosted by the Point Yacht Club in Durban, and today, spokesperson of Bart's Bash, Struan Campbell, joins us to talk more about the event. Struan, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us in our Durban studios. Quick background on Andrew Bart Simpson, who was the actual inspiration for Bart's Bash.
Yes, he was. He was a double Olympic gold medalist. He's won a gold and a silver medal in the past for the British Olympic team. And unfortunately, a few years ago, he was training on an America's Cup catamaran, for the previous America's Cup. They're pretty big boats, 70 feet, incredibly quick, and it capsized. And he was caught underneath, and they couldn't recover him, and he drowned. He was under the water for about 10 minutes and unfortunately lost his life. So after that, they created the Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation in his memory, because he had a certain zest for life, and they wanted to recreate that. And as a result, Bart's Bash was born out of that to basically increase the awareness of sailing, increase participation in the sport, and also to raise funds for various charitable sailing organizations around the world.
So with the fact that in less than 3 years, this event has become one of the preeminent sailing events in the world. It's one of the biggest events globally. Talks about the love that people who love the sea had for Andrew.
Yes, absolutely. The great thing about sailing is that anybody can do it. I mean, he really loved it. He was passionate. He pushed it to incredible levels to actually make it to the Olympics, which is a full-time life sacrifice. You can't just sort of sail every now and again and think that you're going to make it. We had a few South Africans compete in the Olympics in Rio. And if you look at how hard those guys train, it's incredible. But that's one aspect of it. The rest of it is that anybody can do it, and you can do it for your entire life, whether you're just bumbling around on a small boat in the harbour or sailing around the world. It really is open to everybody.
And I think it's so kind of pertinent at the moment, the fact that the Paralympics is on, and we are looking at our Paralympians doing amazingly well. That this Bart's Bash here in South Africa is focused on disabled sailing globally. How did that come up as the kind of focus for the event this year?
Well, I think it's the timing with the Rio Olympics has worked out quite well, and it basically does show the world that anybody can sail. I mean, the boats that the disabled sailors are sailing on have been specially adapted to their disabilities, because obviously the range of disabilities varies, and the boats vary too. So it's a great idea, and again showing the public at large that really it doesn't matter who you are or in what shape you're in. You can get on a boat and you can go out there.
What I've seen firsthand is how because part of what this does is also works and focuses on young people and children getting involved in sailing. And I've seen firsthand how people's lives are changed once they've been introduced to something that was beyond their comprehension. Talk to me about that very quickly, and kind of the work that the organization does with young people and children.
Yeah, well, the Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation, the money that they've raised from Bart's Bash has gone to, as I said earlier, charitable organizations. And South Africans, the South African Garden Route Sailing Academy in Mossel Bay was a beneficiary the first time around. They received £7,000. And basically they go and fetch the kids from very challenged home environments, give them a meal, transport to the sailing venue, a day's sailing out there and instruction, and then they send them home again. And quite a few kids have gone through that. We have a similar organization in Durban called Sail Africa, which has promoted sailing for kids from previously disadvantaged backgrounds. And to see them come through the ranks, we've got quite a few active sailors at Point Yacht Club that have gone through that training and are now Some of them have sailed around the world, and the Clipper race, for example. Others are active members of the yacht club. On that image that you see popping up every now and again, that's one of the guys who's out there all the time. I'm sure that he'll be sailing today. So it's a great avenue for kids to explore. I think the fact that they're going out, sort of into the wild of nature and are in control of a boat as a skipper, it actually gives them some sort of sense of freedom and power over your destiny, provided of course Mother Nature lets you, if you like.
Now, this year's Bart's Bash kicks off the opening of the club's summer sailing season. Just very, very quickly, we're at the end of the interview. Just give us some details for anybody who's interested, who is in Durban at this time of the year, that might want to come down for Bart's Bash. Where can we go to find out more?
Well, the event itself will be hosted in the Durban harbour, so it's not actually out at sea. So if you just go down to the harbour today, Durbanites will know the old Cafe Fish. There's a big grassy area, you can watch it from there. Or Wilson's Wharf is a very easy place to view the boats going around. We start at 1 o'clock. There's nothing to pay. You can just go and have a look. And just a quick aside, Point Yacht Club does have the highest amount of participants in Bart's Bash in the world. We broke that record last night.
We're going to leave it there, Struan. Thank you very much for joining us from our Cape Town, from our Durban studios, talking about Bart's Bash. That's Struan Campbell speaking to us about the biggest global sailing event, which will be hosted by the Point Yacht Club today. This year, the focus is on raising awareness and funds to support disabled sailing globally after the decision was made to move sailing from the Paralympics going forward from 2020. We take an ad break, don't go anywhere.